Well, thank you for the invitation to come down today. First off, we'd like to congratulate David on his Senate-elect position, which we hope, even though our party still remains an independent party, he will be able to bring attention in the Senate, all the minor party issues, and we pushed him on that line that are all common and sensible. And the word is sensible. We don't want rat-bag policies or anything like that, but we will support anything that's sensible, so that's good. Well, I'll just give you a bit of a brief history on the fishing party. I don't know whether people know this, but about 25% of the population in Australia goes fishing, likes to go fishing, likes to eat fish, likes to enjoy the great outdoors. And so back in July 2000, when Mr Obeid was the Fisheries Minister, he saw those dollars flash before his eyes, so he decided to bring in a fishing licence. Now, why would you want a fishing licence to go and catch a feed of fish? I don't know. There was other ways of funding the sport or the recreation that we thought was a better way, but no, the government had to make it a criminal offence if you didn't have a fishing licence. And when Eddie brought it all in, he realised that there wasn't 2 million anglers in New South Wales, there was only 1 million. Half of those were pensioners, so the licence only really affected about 450,000 people in New South Wales. Anyway, we thought that fishing would have been a great political platform to stand on, so we formed the fishing party. And we got some candidates together. We had some, upper house tickets of maybe 20 and 21 people. We had candidates in lower houses, and in 2007 we even paired up with the ORP and the horse riders. We had a joint ticket in the upper house, but we still couldn't match the shooters. Why, I don't know. We understand that a lot of every shooter goes fishing just about, but fishers and horse riders maybe not go shooting, so they must have outnumbered the shooters, but we just find it very difficult to correlate all those people together to get the vote. And at every election, the fishing party gets about 56,000 votes in New South Wales, and the shooters get 112,000. Fishers have got long pockets. They will not put their hands in their pockets. They won't commit to organising things. And I think I'll have to give the ORP a bit of a rap here. Their last representative, or their first representative in New South Wales, said that organising fishing is like trying to herd cats. And that is absolutely true to this day and age. Fishing would be one of the hardest groups to organise in the world. Everybody's got a different idea. Some people want to kiss them, let them go. Some people, want to take a photograph of them. Some people want to take them home and eat them. Kids like to play with them on the wharf. It is just a great, great atmosphere in Australia to be fishing. And surely that could be organised in a vote. With that amount of people, you would think, should be organised in a vote. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. Now we've got 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 parties vying for the fishing vote. We support the same thing, mostly the same thing as what the ORP does, but everybody's trying to get that vote, and the ALP. They're the ones that really caused us to be involved. They locked us out of all these areas, and I got a bit hoodwinked by the shooters originally. It was Mr Tingle when he was in the Parliament. He supported the ALP when he made the marine parks legislation, and then he also supported the ALP in the amendments to that legislation. So I didn't realise at the time that was the case, because I used to really support the shooters, and I thought, geez, that might be a good avenue here to stick up for fishing. But fishing never really got a mention in those early years from the shooters, and we thought, well, we'll form a party and we'll mention it. So that's how the party formed. And we've had a couple of successes. In the seat of Port Stephens, our fishing votes and our preference votes caused the changeover from the ALP to the Libs. Craig Bowman, our preferences got him in. That was in 2000. In 2001, we got registered state level. So we decided, well, we'll get game. So we went federal, and we got registered as a party in September 2001 as a federal party, and we had support from a few members from South Australia and Queensland and New South Wales, and some from South Australia. And we thought, oh well, this will be good. We can kick this off, That's right. But it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. In 2006, the government thought, well, these little minor parties need a bit of a shake-up, so they deregistered all the minor parties, and we all had to re-register again to get back in the system. In that time, we had a Queensland branch, which was quite effective, but they weren't happy, I guess, with what we were doing. They applied to be re-registered as the fishing party. They even filled in statutory declarations to say, they had registered officers as the fishing party. So I got a bit cranky about that, and I challenged them in the courts, and that took up about 2.5 years of my life. And the arguing with the Australian Electoral Commission is like arguing with a brick wall. They've got their own rules and regulations, and sometimes you can't follow what they come up with because it is just, I just think there's some sort of conspiracy or something there sometimes, especially when you lose. But I did challenge them, and I went to the AAT, and I went to the federal court, and ended up in the High Court with appeals, and of course I lost, and of course tears ran out my eyes because it cost me a lot of money. But anyway, the fishing party only exists in New South Wales at the moment. Everything else has failed statewide. We tried Western Australia, where there's a minimum population over there, but there's about 700,000 of those registered as anglers in Western Australia. We thought, gee whiz, they need a bit of organising over there. And we had people walking around boat ramps and all on the blogs and the fishing blogs and everything, and it was a good idea to start with. And then they said, oh yeah, what about this? And then somebody else said, oh no, we organise that. And then it just was so hard to organise, it just didn't come through. Anyway, we failed. We failed in all the states. We had a branch in Victoria. We had about 300 members signed up, and that's as far as it went. As soon as you asked, put your hand in the pocket. No. And no political party can run without finances or money. And you might have one or two committed people to do it, but you need more than that. You need a great team behind you, and you don't need a real big bank account, but especially in New South Wales, you really need to spend the money first before you can recuperate it back from. It's a bit different to the federal, where you get $3 a vote if you get over 4%, but in New South Wales, you actually got to spend the money first and then get paid back for what you spend. So that makes it very difficult. If you could get in the game first and get a bit of a bank balance there, it'd be good, because you could spend it and then get it back again. But anyway, we do have some policies. I have them available here for the different parties and groups if they want them. We've got mission statements, and we've got election statements and those type of things, and you'll probably find they're similar to the ORP, but we think fishing's the greatest sport ever, and we're still in there fighting very hard.
Good.